The Mad Lads are actually doing it, and I cannot be more fascinated, morbidly. I really thought this thing might never happen, and depending on exactly what happens on my theater screen on Halloween this year, it may or may not shouldn't have. I was one of those tismy zoomers who was really into this cringe back in the day, and still kinda have a soft spot for those earlier games. Can't say the same for the recent ones though. So the following opinions are coming from the perspective of a real fan, okay? Fuck all y'all new kids. I am all about the trad FNAF. I don't fuck with the new shit. This movie kinda scares me because it can go a few different ways. Either it tries a serious story and fails at that, or does so and beyond all reasonable doubt turns out decent. Or it purposefully goes for stupid schlock and still ends up being too stupid. Or maybe that actually turns out to be dumb fun. Or maybe it tries doing both, which I feel like is destined to fail. Some things in this trailer give me the impression it might go for the last option. I like to think you can actually make an interesting story out of FNAF's premise, so it'd be a shame if they settle for a goofy, schlocky, but maybe fun, slasher-esque flick. Think of it this way. How interesting would it be if the Five Nights at Freddy's movie actually turned out good, and even people who didn't care for, or even didn't like the franchise, were pleasantly surprised, and found things to appreciate and talk about? It'd be so fucking boring if it's exactly what you'd expect from the stereotype of FNAF. I want to watch a movie that's creative, creepy, and well thought out that just so happens to be FNAF. I don't want to watch something that just caters to fans by utilizing familiar imagery and concepts with little substance beyond that. That's why I feel a little bit off-put when I see this guy over-dramatically screaming as if he's being chased by some crazy, grotesque monster when it's probably just this, or Bonnie fucking eating a guy like the animatronics are literal slasher villains. Sure, the animatronics have to be a threat, but I think you should only imply shit like this, like the games mostly did. But to actually see animatronics murdering people looks super silly. And I'm not gonna pretend Springtrap holding a knife doesn't look funny. And why is Golden Freddy taking a taxi with Corey Kenshin? I don't remember ever asking for Golden Freddy taking a taxi with Corey Kenshin. What is he going to get, McDonald? The lack of actual creepy imagery is disappointing. These animatronics are well made and everything, but they don't look creepy on their own, so the lighting needs to carry the scary factor. But the lighting seems too bright and revealing in some of these shots. Like this shot of Foxy looks silly. He kinda just looks goofy standing there, like he's standing outside his parents' room because he just took a huge shit. It could have easily looked better if more of him was obscured in shadow. It's only there for a split second, but when you pause to look at it, it kinda just looks funny to me. The imagery from the game looks creepier than this. This shot of some nice animatronic feet looks weird. It doesn't look like the foot has weight to it at all. It's kind of wobbling and it looks light. It's weird that they apparently couldn't get a better take. And Ingy Face. I don't like Ingy Face. The spookiness of the gang in the games came from how they looked like lifeless and mindless machines, yet seemed to have some inexplicable intelligence, almost like they were haunted. Part of what's uncanny is the lack of expression, so whenever I see them with angry eyebrows, I just laugh. I realize this might all seem small, and maybe it is, but I'm just worried these little things are indications of problems that'll be more prominent in the full movie. But here's some nice things I have to say, okay? It's kinda weird that I was surprised at how accurate the animatronics are, and they are actual animatronics, so there's effort being put in there. I like the first teaser trailer. I like how it started as an in-universe training video. It gave a distinct grounded feeling right off the bat, and that's exactly what I was looking for. And I liked the vibe of that first teaser image, outside of a rundown Freddy's, inherently giving that slight somber vibe of a long abandoned children's establishment, and a kid with Freddy, who are clearly friendly, which is a slightly disturbing concept, and also has the implication of the animatronic being somehow alive. And with meta knowledge, of course, we know they're haunted. This implied to me a focus on the character of the children who haunt the animatronics, something I desperately want to see out of this movie. For so long now in the FNAF lore, the dead kids have essentially been treated as numbers, or just points on a timeline. 5 kids killed here, 11 killed by this point, and you kinda forget that these are murdered children we're talking about. It's incredibly morbid, and I want to see an adaptation put focus on that, utilize the morbidity for horror, and take the opportunity to humanize the ghosts, and create a sad, but maybe somewhat hopeful story where the alive kid tries to help the not alive ones. The possibility of all of that seemed packed into that image. Of course, I had to add the typical disclaimer of, I hope I'm proven to be an idiot with most of this whining. If I squint, I can't see how this can be a good movie, and these little problems are easily overlooked in the bigger picture. If only I could be confident in that idea. And this shit better be a dream or something, I swear to God.